Hello everybody, hope you guys are enjoying your day. Today we're going to be looking at your weekly forecast, which is going to be going from the 1st of March, which would be today, all the way until next Sunday, which would be the 7th of March. Now this is going to be including your precipitation and temperature anomaly forecast, as well as your special event segment of the video at the end of the video, which is going to show you where you are going to have some storms and big temperature differences during this week. And it's really going to help you get prepared for what's going to happen this week. So let's get right into it here with your precipitation anomaly forecast. We do have below average conditions for much of the country, from areas in the Gulf states through areas into the western United States, and then through into areas in the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and into the UP of Michigan there, where you are all going to be experiencing some slightly to moderately below average conditions. And it's not going to be too noticeable if you're just in this first shade, but as you do get into the second shade of below average, it is going to be more noticeable. Now, areas into California, Oregon, Washington, you will have one storm system that's going to dip south, and I did make a video on that yesterday, so you can go check that out. But it's going to be a very weak system, and it's not going to provide a lot of precipitation, and you guys in the northwest do expect quite a bit of rainfall and snowfall, depending on your elevation. So you really, it's going to be quite a below average week compared to what you guys are used to. You'll still be able to shell out maybe half an inch of precipitation, but that's pretty much it for the entire week. Now, over parts of the southeast and Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, and South Carolina, I am expecting moderately below average conditions as well, just because you are going to be having this ridge of high pressure start to move a little bit further to the east. So now, instead of areas further to the north being the bullseye, you guys are going to be the bullseye of that dry air. Now, here's your above average precipitation. We do have this area in the central United States, from Kansas through Missouri, Iowa, Arkansas, through Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, and through Ohio and Michigan. You are expecting slightly above average conditions in terms of precipitation. Now, this is going to be where you could have a big system roll through, and the models are still going back and forth on whether this system will actually happen or not. If even if it does, you do look to have another system that is more that we're more confident in, that's going to roll through that area later on in the week. So definitely prepare for that. And I'll probably be making a video on that as well. Now, we even have a second shade of above average, your moderately above average conditions through Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and through a little bit there of Kentucky, where you are going to be experiencing some moderately above average conditions. Now, this is going to be where you're going to be more noticeable. You'll definitely notice that it'll be above average in terms of precipitation. You'll notice that it'll be a little bit more stormy or snowier than normal in those areas for this week. For much of the country, though, it is going to be a fairly average week in terms of precipitation, from the Rockies through the Central Plains and into areas into the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Going to be average in terms of precipitation. Now, here's your temperature anomaly forecast, and this is going to be, again, going from the 1st through the 7th of March. Now, we're going to be having some above average conditions through much of the country, except for areas into the Rockies and the Deep South. Through the West Coast, you are going to be dealing with some above average conditions, as well over areas into the Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Tennessee Valley, through the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. All of you will be experiencing some slightly above average conditions. Now, in this first shade, you will it won't be as noticeable as the second shade, which is the orange right here. This is where it's going to be moderately above average, where you are going to be dealing with even more noticeable warm air that's going to be infiltrating. And it is when you get into March, you are going to be able to get more warmer days, and really those temperatures can really outperform themselves. Even if you're calling for 60 degrees, maybe you can hit 65 degrees. It really, March is one of those months that those temperatures can really fluctuate in just a short time frame. So it's really hard to predict those temperatures, especially in March and April, where your temperatures could be 5 or 10 degrees above or below what you were expecting, depending on cloud cover and the sun angle, of course. Now, in this moderately above average section, which is spanning from the Midwest through the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley and into parts of the Northeast, you are going to be experiencing more noticeable above average conditions, as I just stated. Now, in this red, this is where you're going to be dealing with well above average conditions through parts of the Dakotas, through Minnesota, and into Iowa, and a little bit there of Illinois, where I am expecting the most above average, and definitely it'll be noticeable. Now, your averages in the Midwest are not that high at this time, so it's not going to be record warmth. It's not going to be 60s, but it is going to be very warm. It'll be most likely on average about 6 to 8, 10 degrees above average for the entire week. So you'll definitely have a couple days where you're 20, 30 degrees above average. So definitely will be very warm compared to your averages over areas into the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Iowa. Now, here's your below average conditions, and this is going to be for areas into western Texas, western Oklahoma, through all of New Mexico, most of Colorado, most of Wyoming, through areas into Montana, into Idaho, and into Utah and Arizona, where you are going to be dealing with some below average conditions for this week. Now, here's your special event segment of the video where you are going to be dealing with some stormy conditions over areas into Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, through Mississippi, Alabama, and into Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. You are going to be dealing with some stormy conditions. You're going to have this cold front that's going to really stall out over areas from Texas and into the Atlantic, and that's going to lead to some stormy conditions that's going to be happening over areas into the southeast. Now, this is going to be going from the 3rd through the 6th this week, and it's going to be definitely causing some pretty good flooding. Definitely, most likely, you'll have probably 2 to 3 inches of rainfall happening over areas into the southeast. Now, that is going to wrap the video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video when I do upload. Anyways, guys, that was Eli with Orthograph, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.